Winds out of the east, 8 to 15 miles per hour. Partly cloudy skies tonight, lows dip down to about 37. Daytime highs approaching 69 tomorrow. Sunshine mixed with clouds at times. Get weather anytime by calling 824-6101 or online at TaylorvilleDailyNews.com. Currently, it's 36 degrees.
WTIM.
You're listening to WTIM, your information station. Time now for your expanded local news. I'm Reed Kamai. The Taylorville City Council met yesterday evening for their first April meeting to discuss various topics, including hearing committee reports and reviewing old and new business. Items in the discussion included a motion to amend the approved bills from the March 16th City Council meeting, as well as a joint resolution for the Paper Mill Branch Infrastructure Project. Other topics in the meeting included the recognition of the Girls Wrestling Club state qualifiers, as well as updates from both the mayor and the city attorney. The first thing to be discussed was the recognition of the Girls Wrestling Club state qualifiers. Taylorville Mayor Bruce Berry honored the wrestlers and presented them with a plaque to show their achievements.
I have the pleasure of honoring the Illinois Kids Wrestling Club, Taylorville House, with 4 girls who are special this year. Will Peabody is the director of Illinois Kids Wrestling. Whereas the Girls Wrestling Club has shown perseverance, hard work, dedication, and great coaching, and whereas the Girls Wrestling Club finished with an amazing season, having 4 state qualifiers, with 1 wrestler placing 3rd place in the IKWF state finals, the highest finish in Taylorville Wrestling Club's history. Now, therefore, I, Bruce Berry, Mayor of the City of Taylorville, do hereby proclaim April 6, 2026 as Girls Wrestling Club State Qualifier Days. Congratulations.
The next item on the agenda to be discussed was the motion to amend the approved bills from the March 16th City Council meeting. According to Mayor Berry, the amount to be approved after the amendment is $524,657.66, which now includes the amount of $179,654.46 in bank drafts, which were not included in the originally approved total. The motion to amend was approved 8-0.
Motion to amend the approved bills from the March 16, 2026 City Council meeting. The corrected amount to be approved is a total of $524,657.66. The amount of $179,654.46 in bank drafts were not on the approved total. Motion. Alderman Bud, second. Second. Alderman Brown, questions or comments? Roll call.
Kathy Driscoll. Yes. Jim Olive.
Yes.
Amy Hagan.
Yes.
Doug Brown.
Yes.
Megan Bryant.
Yes.
Larry Bud.
Yes.
Steve Dennis.
Yes.
Steve Dorchenez.
Yes.
Motion carries 8-0.
There was also a motion made by Alderman Jim Olive to recommend a joint resolution with Christian County for the Paper Mill Branch Infrastructure Project. The motion was voted to go through a joint resolution before getting any further votes. This topic did cause for some clarifying discussion among council members concerning the budget amount.
Motion to recommend to the City Council to direct the City Clerk to prepare a joint resolution with Christian County for the Paper Mill Branch Infrastructure Project in the amount not to exceed $200,000, with funds to be paid from the Motor Fuel Fund, and to waive all statutory bidding requirements and subject to compliance with prevailing wage and certified insurance requirements. Put that in the form of a motion.
Motion by Alderman Olive, second.
Second.
Alderman Bud, questions or comments?
I have a couple of comments, Mr. Mayor. The first of which, we want to make sure that no work is being done at this fiscal year, because this project has not been appropriated. You want to make sure it gets included in your new appropriation ordinance so that you can expend these funds. And secondly, in looking at the packet, the joint resolution that was in your packet was the one for the county. And looking at the attachment, the total local share is $191,000. So I'm assuming we're only going to be paying half of that. So does that need to be not to exceed $100,000, or is the project twice that much?
Mike's saying it's 200,000 or 191 that we're responsible for.
So 191, we would split in half, but it's just a estimate. According, prices now are escalating, and we want to make sure there's enough in our budget to be prepared for that project. That's the reason we put the escalated number in that project.
The last topics to be discussed were the city attorney and mayor updates. In the city attorney update, renewable energy, additions to power bills, and Galaxy Trucking Logistics new developments were discussed.
City attorney updates.
You received an email from me on the update on the renewable energy evolution. We finally got a response. So we should continue to hold any payments due from the fire department or from the city's water plant to them. They are in agreement with that, and they expect that they're going to get their finances default resolved by the end of this month. We'll wait and see. And then they're supposed to have ACE Recovery send the city a letter to release their, I'll call it a lien, for lack of a better word, to us for the payment. However, the Constellation new energy bills that you withheld the last time, according to REE, that has nothing to do with them. That is coming, I think, from whoever you buy your electricity from. I did see Ameren name on those bills. So if you agree with the dollar amounts that you're being charged, those are probably ready to be approved for payment and added to your bills this evening. Because I think you held back an $8,000 some dollar one some time ago. And the other matter is, you've seen the emails going back and forth on Barker Implement Company, Galaxy Trucking Logistics Inc. on the redevelopment agreements with TIF. I haven't seen anything response. I don't know if the mayor has or any of you. So that's still on hold, I guess, until they tell us that they approve the documents. That's it.
In the mayor update, Mayor Berry shared gratitude to the Clayton family for their donation to save the Taylorville 4th of July fireworks show. Mayor Berry also mentioned the construction on West Main Cross, as well as the Safe Routes to School project.
Mayor update. Thank you to Ed and Becky Clayton for their generous donation to the 4th of July fireworks. Construction continues on West Main Cross. We are waiting on an archaeological study on West Adams to complete our Safe Sidewalks to School project. Thank you to Ameren for choosing Taylorville as their model city in implementing an energy efficient program. They will be at the Taylorville Food Pantry tomorrow to discuss energy efficient with them, and they give them some grant money, I was told. Thank you.
All other motions at the meeting were approved. Eastern Illinois University's Booth Library is set to continue its Authors at EIU series with their second event. It will be offered this Thursday at 5 in the evening, and the event will feature 2 published members of their faculty. The 2 members being recognized are Alan Picaro, Associate Art and Design Professor at the university, and Gary Canavez, Professor of Psychology. EIU says they will be welcoming community members, students, as well as regional community members to attend this free event. Alan Picaro's long-form essay titled In the Beginning is featured in the 2025 book Tom Torlumke, Live on Paper, 1987 to 2024. The book was published by what EIU calls the prestigious Skira in 2025. Picaro's essay traces the evolution of drawing into works on paper, charting a larger shift in which images move from active agents in the world to autonomous artworks and co-modified objects. Gary Canavez's published work is titled Assessing Psychometric Fitness of Intelligence Tests Toward Evidence-Based Interpretation Practices, of which Canavez was a primary editor. His work was published by Bloomsbury Publishing in April of 2025. Cavanez's publication features different regulations and underpinnings for the ethical interpretation of intelligence test score comparisons. For further information or to discover more about the Booth Library, you can reach out to them by calling 217-581-7400, or you can go online to eiu.edu. And now a word from First National Bank in Taylorville.
At First National Bank in Taylorville, just west of the square, we've spent 70 years being your local bank. The bank where relationships matter, because we've been part of this community for generations. I'm President Jared Beckham. Life moves fast. Families grow, businesses change, even banks come and go. But one thing stays the same. First National Bank in Taylorville has been here for you, and will be here for the next generation too. Serving Taylorville for 70 years, First National Bank in Taylorville. First every time, member FDIC.
A chance for athletes from around the country to compete in traditional Celtic and Scottish events comes to Horace B. Garman Park. This marks a new location for the 5th annual D-Town Throwdown Highland Games, set to be held on Saturday, April 25th. Historically, the number of athletes, along with their family members who attend, ranges between 60 and 70 competitors. The event has no age limit for spectators, and entry is free. Ancient Athletics, which is a unit of the St. Andrew's Society of Central Illinois, organizes the games as part of its mission to promote and celebrate Celtic culture through community involvement and athletic events. Athletes of all ages are welcome to register to compete. To register online as an athlete in the competition, visit ancientathletics.com. The event also welcomes sponsors, vendors, and volunteers. Those interested in supporting or participating as a vendor should reach out via email to scottishheavyevents@gmail.com. A new study is raising concerns about how screen time could impact kids' long-term health. Research published in the Journal of the American Heart Association shows children and teenagers who spend more time on screens, especially while getting less sleep, may face a higher risk of future heart and metabolic issues, including high blood pressure, blood sugar, and cholesterol. The study looked at more than 1,000 young people in Denmark and found teenagers with the most screen time were especially at risk. Dr. Natasha Noel with the OSF Healthcare Cardiovascular Institute says the findings highlight how everyday habits can impact long-term health.
I like the fact that they highlighted that everyday habits could have an effect on, the cardiac health of kids and teens. And what I also liked is that they didn't focus on weight alone, but they looked at other metabolic measures like high blood pressure, cholesterol, and blood glucose.
Doctors say one key factor is sleep. Experts warn too much screen time, especially late at night, can disrupt sleep patterns, which play a critical role in regulating hormones, metabolism, and blood pressure.
So when you have lack of sleep for whatever reason, and in this case, maybe late prolonged screen times, it could increase your insulin resistance, it could increase your appetite, your weight, blood pressure levels.
While the study focused on children in Denmark, doctors say more research with a broader population would be helpful. Still, the connection between screen time, sleep, and health risks is hard to ignore.
A lot of the things that they told us, that not only more screen time, but more screen time occurring with less sleep kind of had an additive effect on cardiovascular risk factors long term.
The findings also highlight the importance of physical activity. Doctors say time spent in front of screens could mean less movement, which is something that's essential for heart health. Health experts say the goal is not to eliminate screen time altogether, but to create balance. That includes setting limits, keeping screens out of bedrooms at night, and maintaining consistent sleep schedules.
Physical activity is one of the mainstays of treatment, especially when we're doing lifestyle management for high blood pressure and high cholesterol. We go back to physical activity. But what this study kind of said is like, even with physical activity, that screen time and less sleep may be independent risk factors for cardiovascular health long term for kids.
Doctors say the habits kids build now, including how they sleep, move, and use technology, can have lasting effects on their heart health well into adulthood. Lakeland College is asking for input from community members and prospective students as it works to improve class scheduling options. Residents in the college's district are invited to complete a brief online survey to share preferred class times and formats. School officials say the feedback will help expand course offerings, including online, in-person, evening, and weekend classes, making it easier for students to balance education with work and family responsibilities. The survey will remain open through June 30th. Participants will be entered into a drawing for a $50 gift voucher to the Laker Nest bookstore. The effort is part of the college's Education That Fits Your Life initiative, which aims to better align academic programs with students' individual needs. For more information, those interested can contact Lakeland College's Director of Strategic Initiatives. A local student is being recognized on the national stage for his work in agriculture. Morrisonville native Cade Beckmeyer helped lead Lincoln Land Community College to a national championship at the Professional Agriculture Student Conference in Branson, Missouri. Beckmeyer was part of LLCC's sheep specialist team, which took first place in the nation. His teammates included Carter Lamp of Bowling Green, Ohio, and Taylor Crouch of Maroa, who also earned top individual honors in the competition. In addition to the team championship, Beckmeyer also placed fourth individually in the crop production competition. Overall, 10 LLCC students qualified for nationals after strong finishes at the state level, with the college earning multiple top team and individual awards. The Professional Agriculture Student Organization connects students with careers in the ag industry. LLCC's Agriculture Club is advised by Liz Conradi, Liz Stamberger, and Bill Harmon. The trip was made possible through support from the Creer Farm Perpetual Trust and a grant from Growmark. The Illinois Soybean Association is helping organize the Transportation Go Conference this week in Chicago. Illinois Soybean Association's Todd Main says the event is Wednesday and Thursday at the Intercontinental Hotel. More information is available at transportationgo.com. Now to obituaries, which can be found at TaylorvilleDailyNews.com. 86-year-old Judith Moses died on Friday. Visitation and the funeral service took place yesterday at the Community of Christ Church in Taylorville. Burial will be at Mound Chapel Cemetery in Owanaco. 103-year-old Geraldine V. Beatty of Stonington died March 27th. Visitation is today from 10 till 11 at Holy Trinity Catholic Church in Stonington. The funeral service will immediately follow. Burial will be at Old Stonington Cemetery. Arrangements are being handled by McClure Funeral Home in Taylorville. 73-year-old David D. Black of Taylorville died last Tuesday. Visitation is tomorrow from noon till 1 at Sutton Memorial Home in Taylorville. A memorial service will immediately follow. Burial will be at Harper's Ferry Cemetery. Arrangements are being handled by Sutton Memorial Home, Taylorville. 84-year-old Robert Smith of Taylorville died last Tuesday. Visitation is Thursday from 2 till 4 at Sutton Memorial Home in Taylorville. A celebration of life will immediately follow at Evangelical Free Church in Taylorville. Interment will be at a later date. Cremation rights have been accorded. Arrangements are being handled by Sutton Memorial Home in Taylorville. And 94-year-old Doris Long of Greenville, formerly of Sorrento, died February 18th. Visitation is April 18 from 11 till noon at Donald Wigand Funeral Home in Greenville. A celebration of life will immediately follow. Interment will be at Brown Cemetery. Arrangements are being handled by Donald Wigand Funeral Home in Greenville. It is currently overcast and 36 degrees outside. Today there is a 40% chance of snow, mainly before 9 this morning. Otherwise, mostly cloudy with a high near 48. It could be windy as well with gusts as high as 17 miles per hour. Tonight, partly cloudy with a low around 37 and gusts as high as 20 miles per hour tonight. Get local news anytime at TaylorvilleDailyNews.com and every hour as well right here on WTIM.